Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About It, a podcast for the youth, created by the youth. I go by the name of Anas Sharma, and I'll be hosting today's podcast alongside the cast members.
Show. Stay show, Johnny. Yeah, live. Oh,
And
Aminata.
there you go. So it's us three today. And on today's topic, we are speaking about the grooming of young men and women. All right, so let's kickstart the conversation. What do we know about grooming of young men and women?
I must start off
Go
with
on.
basically, it's so obvious, but yet no one really knows how even these chicken shops, kebab shops, these older men grooming younger kids with alcohol, drugs, like supplies, gifts, making them feel like almost obliged to then do what they say. That's like, it's crazy. Like, I wasn't actually aware of this until recently, until like I've noticed how common it is, how frequent this is happening. And yeah, it's like it's
so
more
what,
frequent.
do you think those kids see it as that though? Do you
No,
think
that's
they
the thing, though.
Do you think like they see
They
it like,
don't.
because really and truly, I would like it just like groom. When you think of grooming, like you think, like how can you actually define it as that? Because in terms, it's almost a manipulation thing. Like,
Yeah. Grooming
you
is just
see this.
essentially like just forming an emotional attachment with a younger child, right? And then like supply, like the way it happens, the most common way I know of it happening is like gifting them, making them feel like guilty for not to say no.
There's something
Sort of
called chicken shop grooming. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we've all heard of it, which is basically, you've touched on it kind of thing where, like as a young child, obviously it hasn't happened to me, innit, but obviously I've witnessed it happen to other people and stuff. You get approached by the older boys or like older people, and then after they like, they're like, do this for me and I'll give you da-da-da-da-da. Like, they'll treat them like, they'll buy them nice stuff, they'll give them clothes, they'll even pay for their food kind of thing. Let me pay for your food, but do this for me, get this for me.
No,
blah,
I
blah,
remember
blah, blah,
when
blah.
I was younger, like, when you finish secondary school, you just come out long day, all the man them go chicken and chip shop, innit? Like, you just go chicken and chip shop. And chicken and chip shop is a big thing back in the day. You know
Yeah.
your 4 wings and chips, your chicken burger, you're looking forward to it. So when all of us are chilling and then you just see one older and come in and say, oh, no, I've got this for you lot, like, hold
Especially
this,
them ones
boss
when you
man.
came to school and
Yeah, I mean, dab these lot a little something in it. But that's the best feeling ever. But deep it, like, I never saw it, but that's actually manipulation, fam. Because
Yeah.
there's certain older people that'll do that just out of love. But then when you think of it, there's people actually doing that and using
You
that
need
as
to
a
know the
technique.
difference. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because, bro, as a kid, you're thinking, oh my days, this guy just got me a burn.
Yeah.
He's up. Like, I've just hit a lick. Do you get it? So, but do you get what I'm saying? So him asking me to do a little da-da-da on the side for him, I'm thinking, oh yeah, you know what? It's calm. Do you get what I mean? My man has me, bro. He paid me chicken and chips. Then next thing you know, your friends asking you, oh yeah, like, I know this guy, bro. If we do this, we do that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Cause let's not lie, as a kid, you've said it yourself, bro. Like, chicken and chips, was a big thing back in the day. Like, even like, okay, let's not think about chicken and chips itself, but something so small. So, for example, if someone was to give someone a £5 at the age of 14, 13,
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money back then. Like, £5, you could do a lot with it. You get obviously now you're older, you realise £5 is a new 50p in it. But when you're younger and someone's getting you food or buying you trainers even, or just giving you little £5-10 here and there, do you get? You're just looking up to that person. But one thing we need to remember, which I never knew when I was a kid, is nothing in life is free, innit? Someone will do something for you, but I guarantee you, when they need something from you, they will come back and they'll let you know.
I remember as a kid, I loved something free. If I didn't pay for it, it tasted 10 times
No, for
better.
sure.
You get what I'm saying? So, like, even like, not even just chicken and shits, like, bro, just seeing, I don't know, the oldest on the block, or anyone just pull up with a new whip, like, just hopping out a new whip and they're blasting music. You're just thinking, I want to be like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, wow, that's sweet, like.
Yeah, something that just came into my head. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but not too long ago. It was from 2008 to 2012, like 4 years of like, I think that was the right dates. But anyways, the Rochdale Grooming Gang, those 3 girls, that is a really famous story. I think they have their own documentary on Netflix as well. They basically 13-year-old, one of them had learning difficulties as well. Like she couldn't think straight. They got free kebab, and in return they had to have sex with these older men. And obviously even the girl with learning difficulties described this man as her friend. Like she said, like, that's my friend. Like it's okay because he's my friend. The fact that they've been manipulated to think that these men are their friends is like,
yeah, and that's
insane.
And literally another thing I was gonna say as well is it a certain type of people they go for kind of thing? Because you even mentioned, like, obviously I personally feel like they go for whoever they want to go for kind of thing. But there are people out in the world who are easily manipulated.
Nah, man, they have
people.
targets, man. They have targets, bro. Because think about it like this, yeah. Like, if you're 13, 14, like, alright, cool. Me growing up in an estate, things are hard already. Like, the system, the way it's set up, the system made things hard for us already. Like, we barely have enough. Like, we want to get, like, all the nice things in life are expensive, but we can't afford it because obviously mum and dad are putting in that shift.
Yeah.
So, like, they're not going to waste it willy-nilly on any old thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So, really and truly, as a child, you're already thinking, like, I need to get it myself. I need to make things myself. Do you get what I mean? I can't rely on mum and dad. Do you get what I'm saying? That's where they come through. Bow, like,
They know exactly
okay,
who to target.
yeah, this guy.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, but then in terms as well, remember, grooming is not just buying things for people as well. Like, for example, people just need someone to chat to, innit? They don't have friends at a young age, or their parents don't have time for them. So if an older person sees that and then they give them the time of day and they just chat to them, like, you like, people need to understand you don't have to, like, buy stuff for these young people. If you just give them what they lack in, just a conversation or just time, spend time with them, say you're their friend, stuff like that. Like, stuff like that is also grooming. Do you get? For example, these rich people that have the money in the world, there's still rich young kids that get groomed. Do you get it? But how? It's because they don't have friends, or their parents will never have time for them, so they have conversation with these older people who just manipulate them, get into their heads and stuff like that. It's crazy still, but that's the only reason why I say anyone can get it. But that's why it's a tough world out there where you actually need to be careful. Which is going on to the next topic. So, what are signs of grooming? What do you lot think are signs of grooming? Like, how? Because we've already mentioned what we think it is, yeah. But how is, like, what's the sign? So if you see it happening, would you know it's grooming? And what would make you know it's grooming?
I think, personally, if I know the person, it's kind of like, where'd you get this from? Like, if they're getting things that they don't particularly have the money for, or if they're disappearing in times of the day where, like, they have nothing to do, or they've made new friends out of the blue, or, like, I'm not sure. I feel like when you don't know the person in particular, it's very hard to tell if someone's being groomed, because at the end of the day they might actually just be, like, really close with the chicken shop. They probably they could have listen,
you never be, man. You could never.
Listen.
No one's that close to boss man, bro.
Because
No
I
one's
have not seen you with that new tracksuit.
Okay,
I've
so
not seen you with that
but
new
for
track-
example,
something's happening. You are going doing something
cool,
for
let me
somebody.
give an
You are hitting the
example.
tea. You are doing something.
Nah,
You're going
G,
somewhere.
the chicken shop in the area that I grew up in, every time I go in there, I greet him. Nothing's going on between me and boss man, but, like, he's friendly. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not being groomed by my man.
Older, do you get what I mean? You have a rapport with boss man. So
that's what I'm saying. But the question was, how do you tell if someone's being groomed? I'm saying, like, you could think they're being groomed. More time, it's probably just a friendly relationship with
but
boss
then
man.
again, it's not going to be just boss man. Do you get it? It's people at the chicken shop. Do you get it? It's like,
True.
like, okay, boss man is probably boss man's probably doing his own mad thing, innit? But he's probably not grooming young people. But there's elders on the ends, like Johnny even said, that hang around chicken shops, kind of thing. That would be grooming young men, young girls to do stuff for them, kind of thing.
Like, I feel like if you're a young person, yeah, and, like, you have a batch you chill with, or even just your friends, you know what your friends are like, you know what type of family you come from. Do you get what I mean? You know what's accepted and you know what's not accepted. If I've always known you to be a good guy that leaves home, goes back, goes to school and come home, and all of a sudden now, like, we're all chilling, you've been approached by someone, like, I've said no, because some people, there are some clued up kids that will say no, and do you know what I mean? And so, but then there's other people that, like, oh yeah, they've seen a bit of the glamour style. One sign could be money. Do you get what I'm saying? My man's backed out a fat stack here and be like, yeah, bro, you know what I mean? Come, listen, this money, bro. You've had those same crepes for a while now, and they're thinking, yeah, this is dead. I don't want this. Do you get what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, they're coming with a new tracksuit. They're coming with some new trainers. They're looking sweet now. Do you get what I'm saying? But they don't know in the long run. What if you flop now? What if my man, that the same guy you thought that was your best friend that was putting you on, you've now fucked up and they want the peas back? That's when you're going to start seeing trouble now. Do you get what I mean? So we need to watch out. We need to watch out for these things, like these little signs. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if there's people, but there's some people that are doing good stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? Like some people are going out there doing actual good stuff, giving young people an opportunity. Alright, cool, come to the youth club, do this. Do you know what I mean? Go in a craft. Do you get what I'm saying? Instead of being on like going a craft. Do you get what I'm saying? But
and on that topic, I like what you mentioned as well. Obviously, for example, now we can't be quick. Yeah, and just say, just because the elders taking interest in the young people is grooming. There are some elders on the ends or people that are older than us that just genuinely have the best needs of the child or best needs of the young people because they've grown up in the same situation. They never had the things, they never had an older to put them in the right place. So they actually just do want to do stuff like that. But I guess at the end of the day, it's just one of those problems where we need to tackle as people to get. So how are we going to tackle it? What do you guys think are solutions? Like
That's
that can
so
be
hard.
it can be and
don't speak to strangers, kids. Stay away.
That's it, but
that's the only thing I was gonna say. Stranger danger, bro. Stay away if you don't know them. You don't know them. But for example, I just think of it as when I'm older and I have my own kids. Yeah, how would I try to protect them from stuff like this? Because we grow up in the same thing, but how can I protect my kids from stuff like that?
Like you said, nothing in life is free. Just teach them that everything comes with a consequence. Everything has, like, as you said, like if some point down the line you're gonna have to end up paying them back in some form of way. It doesn't have to be with money. It could be in any type of way, innit? So just tell them like, cool, yeah, that might sound nice, but then the repercussions might not be as sweet as you think, innit?
It's true, man. It's true. It's true.
And make them know their own value. Make them know their own worth. Like a lot of people out here are getting lost. You get what I'm saying? Like obviously things can get hard, but you need to always know like your worth. Like I try to teach my kids value of money from young. Do you get like say if I had a little daughter, don't get, if you see a little Giuseppe or a little, you know what I mean, Balenci or something, don't get lost. You get what I mean? No, because really and truly you don't know what man has in his actual bank account.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And for the guys as well, do you get what I mean? Don't do it all. Don't lose everything just for the drip. You know what I mean? Or something like, do you get what I mean? People, because what you see, a lot of people are going off what you see, and do you get what I'm saying? You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. So please be aware. Like, stay woke.
Literally, man. Grooming of young people is a big topic, and obviously we've touched on it, we've mentioned it. So guys out there, if you know anyone or if you have been a victim, please share your story. Try to tell people what has happened so that they can avoid it. If you're a young person listening to this and something's happening to you, what we've heard, stay away from the people, avoid them at all costs, and keep an eye out for
talk
this
to your
kind
family,
of thing.
man.
Literally,
talk to your
talk
family.
to
Do you
people.
get what I mean? I didn't
Talk
think
to people,
you're
man.
really and truly your mum and dad don't. If you knew what you was doing was good, why didn't you tell your mum then? Or your dad?
You can get
do you get what I'm
family
saying?
too.
Why are you proud? Like, do you get what I mean? You're proud because you know something's wrong, but because of the rewards, or it's not even rewards, because of the short term assets you're gaining from it, you think it's all right. It's not all right.
Literally, man, it's not worth it. At the end of the day, you're still young. Enjoy your life. When you're older and you got your own money, then do your own thing, man.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But that's our conversation on grooming. Hopefully you've learned something. And like I said, if you know anyone who is a victim of it, or if you are a victim of anything that we've spoken about today, please speak to someone, your parents, and avoid these situations at all costs. But that is it for this episode. See you lot next time.